All right, y'all. We're going to compare the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blush with the Moira Love Blur blushes. I haven't really heard anybody talking about these, and I don't know why. So, if you watched me review this before, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I just think it's okay. I don't think it's spectacular. But I saw these, and these were the two original shades that I bought on the Moira website. And I thought, well, let's try these. So I bought these two first, and then I went back because I don't have enough blushes, and I'm a crazy person, and I bought these three. So let's do some facts first, and then we'll do swatches. So Rare Beauty, $27. They have 10 shades. They just added 3, so there's 10 total. And then this, I don't think this is the lightest shade. I think it's the second lightest shade. I have the shade Happy. There's 0.22 ounces of product in here. It's good for 12 months. Sorry, I was just looking at that. And I do think this one is a little creamier than the Moira, and I think it's more pigmented. And it does have the, like, you know, you can kind of smush it. So this is the shade Happy from Rare Beauty. Okay. So Moira, these retail for $9. So less than half the price. There's 12 shades, and you can actually buy a bundle of, like, it's kind of discounted, I guess, for all of them. I think it's still around $100, a little less if you buy the whole one, which who needs all those? I mean, I don't. But if you want them, that's an option. So there's that. This is 0.16 ounces of product, so 0.06 less, but still for less than half the price. I feel like that's fair. It's a third of the cost. Math, a third of the cost. I think these are easier to blend. They're a little bit less creamy. And this shade is not an exact dupe for Happy, but it's the closest of the ones that I got. And this is the shade Blush Kiss. And I think it's a little bit more pinky. So that's Blush Kiss. They actually look, hang on. Beep, beep, beep. And then there's the Rare. So it's more pink. This is more orangey. Like I said, they're not shade dupes, but that's the closest of the ones that I have. I also have Baby Love, which I think this is the second lightest shade. Oh, let's do that one again. And you can see there's the texture. So it does have the same, like, putty, but it's not as creamy squishy. I'm also not as oily as this light is making me look. So there's Baby Love. This one is Amore. This is the third shade, I think, in the... There's Amore. And then the original ones that I got, this one is Yearning, and it says it's the 5th shade. Go over here. Oh, I made that so weird. Sorry, guys. Yearning, up here. And this one, it says it is the 8th shade in Sweet Whisper. Put you up here. And it's more of that, like, beigey nude, Sweet Whisper. And Blush Kiss is number 6. So I have 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. Did I need all these? No. Do you need all these? No. But if you don't want to pay for the Rare Beauty, I definitely think these are a good alternative. It's not a dupe, but I actually like these better because they are more user-friendly. They're easier to build up. You don't have to worry about it being a little bit too much, which I feel like with the Rare Beauty, because it is so much more pigmented, and that's the Rare Beauty one, It is easier to overdo it or mess it up, so just something to keep in mind. But again, a third of the cost. It's not that much less product. There's extra shades. And Moira does do a lot of discounts on their website. Whereas, you know, you might get 20% off of these. But even 20% off of these, the Moira is still cheaper. But, I mean, the packaging is shaped different. It has the, you know, the color inside matches the outside. But, so, between the two, I will not buy any more of the Rare Beauty ones. Again, I didn't love this formula anyway. There weren't a lot of colors that I really liked. I do feel like these have more, Moira has more wearable colors, and I feel like maybe they're just more wearable because it's a formula that you can build up instead of just going in and like, oh, that's a lot of blush. So yeah, if you're thinking about them, I would pick the Moira. But as I've said in other videos, that is just my uneducated bullshit opinion. So, yep. Like and subscribe. Okay. Like and subscribe. And okay, bye.